Hello. I don't usually wear suits. I absolutely hate this, and I'm wearing shorts down below. I wanted to wear this in homage to the main subject of this video, the report of the week. Also, given the name Review Bra by his community, he's been making YouTube videos for 8 years now, and if you don't watch him, his primary videos are fast food reviews. But the reason I love watching his videos, and probably why his audience does too, is because he's such a unique and lovable character. I don't know him personally, so I can only speculate through the content that he creates, but by just putting himself out there, he's sharing something really special with the world. Let's go back to the channel's inception 8 years ago. With a tuft of hair on top, the video shows him as a little kid in a suit with a lisp trying to act like an adult. It's adorable. The beginning of any YouTube channel is a really fascinating place to analyze. Like most creators who start out on YouTube, this was Review Bra's first go at it. And without much practice in the craft or a previous audience, you get to see over the course of videos, he's trying to figure out what he wants to create. He wanted to make something, he made it, and finally he put it out in the world. That requires a certain amount of skill, determination, and confidence, even if it is just him reviewing a drink in his dining room. One of the great things about this time in a creator's journey is no one's watching. It's pretty insane to film yourself reviewing an energy drink or playing a video game or talking about another YouTuber, and then to post it online. What's your expectation there? Who are you expecting to watch what you just created? And okay, yeah, there are a lot of other weirder things out on the internet, and I can't really condone those. But behind every video, there's a person, and for one reason or another, they decided that there was a reason to create.
I mean, the spice is there, no denying it. And they did a good job on it. For once, they finally did. And I'm proud of Burger King. I'm proud of you, Angry Whopper.
He's got the suit, the New York accent. All of his videos are one take, unedited. He speaks clearly with precise diction. He times his pauses, and he doesn't start a sentence unless he knows where he's going to cantaloupe. You can tell he's a genuinely wholesome guy, and it's really rare for a self-proclaimed social outcast to have the gumption to put themselves out there. I think this makes his personality unique for the platform and sets him apart from a lot of other creators. But it wasn't until one of his videos was posted on Reddit in 2013 that he was thrust into the limelight. Now, putting yourself out there on the internet, you and I both know it's a risky endeavor, and people will say the darnest things. Overnight, Review Bra got more views, comments, and hate than the past 2 years of making content. It was a bit overwhelming. But it wasn't just the hate that Review Bra had to get through, it was also his naivete towards the satirical meme culture. I think he explains it best.
Now, in retrospect, and even in 2013, I figured this out pretty quick. You know, all these people that are coming to the channel, they don't really like me or the content. They're not laughing with me, they're laughing at me, they're mocking me, they're kind of, they're just messing me around. And it made me very depressed for a long time when I did realize it.
I gotta say, that would be the worst feeling ever. It's brave to put your creation out into the world, and then for your work to finally pick up some traction and gain an audience, you get this high of approval, fame, legitimacy, whatever it is, and then you realize it's just a joke. Some people thought that what you made was so bad that it's funny. And remember, Review Bra is already doing something outside the norm, so maybe this mockery only confirms that what he's doing is stupid. Regardless, this is not the type of response most people imagine when their work starts to be viewed. So he decided to take a break for a couple of months and figure out what he wanted to do. And then he came back, started making videos again. In 2014, 4chan found him, and that was a whole ordeal. Still, he was gaining an audience, and he didn't really know who was there just for the memes and to make fun of him, and if anyone actually really genuinely enjoyed his content. He decided it didn't really matter. He was just gonna make stuff anyways. He started making his Voice of the Report of the Week, or the VORW podcast, in 2014. In 2015, he started posting multiple videos in a week, and he successfully turned his YouTube channel into his job. Starting up the VORW podcast not only allowed him to live out his dreams of broadcasting his voice on radio, but it also let the audience in on some of his thoughts, covering topics like news, media, philosophy, and his battles with anxiety and other mental illnesses.
I don't talk about this a lot, but I struggle with terrible social anxiety and other mental illnesses that are so stigmatized. I refuse to really bring it up any further than that, because you do get discriminated against. It's no lie. And as a result, though, when you have bad days and you're completely out of commission, look, jobs aren't going to take any of that crap.
This is just another example of showing how ReviewBraw is brave enough to put this sort of stuff out there. And here's kind of the double-edged sword when it comes to having an audience. It's great to entertain people, and hopefully your work is giving other people joy, because that's kind of your job. But in return for their support, your audience has expectations. For ReviewBraw, that was fast food reviews. He'd built an audience by delivering them these reviews, but now, 6 years later, he felt typecast. Anytime he made a different video, it wouldn't get a lot of views. With an audience, when you're creating, sometimes there'll be a voice in the back of your head telling you, oh, I don't know if they'll like this, I should probably just work on this thing I know they're gonna like. And sometimes it can feel like you shouldn't take any more risks, and that you can't create what you actually want to. There's definitely a lot of fear and pressure to stick to what you know is gonna work.
I felt like I had to do a review of this new burger because it would benefit the channel and the algorithm. Anything else would fall flat on its face. People only want to see me talk about food, so I have to review this burger.
Okay, I laughed out loud when I heard that part. That was pretty funny. I mean, the human condition and species advancements to get to a point where someone that reviews fast food becomes depressed, it's absurd. Don't take this comment as glib. Of course, I value ReviewBraw as a person, and depression can suck donkey balls. It's just a crazy world we live in. In fact, because he's shared his stories of hardships when it comes to creating and mental illness, it's one of the main reasons why I'm making this video. Personally, I had found some success on YouTube in the past few years making videos about a game called Hearthstone. I loved the work, and this one series had a demand from an audience, so I started making that a bunch, and it became my part-time job. Way better than working at a cafe. Thank you so much for that. I learned that if I was disciplined and made a schedule and put out videos regularly, then all my videos would start doing better. And I also learned that if a video didn't do well, then it would hurt the other videos. It was a great experience, but I ran into the same problem as ReviewBraw. I had grown my majority of the audience for one type of video, and that's what the majority wanted. And while it can seem like an audience is pressuring you to make one type of video, in reality, I was putting that pressure on myself. And that pressure to get the most amount of views and the content that I knew the audience would want, it meant that what I was creating slowly over time wasn't really scratching that itch anymore. It was comfortable to create something that I knew the audience would like and I'd get validation from. But spending all this time making something I wasn't really excited about or proud of anymore, it got me depressed. I realized that I couldn't give the audience the content they wanted anymore because it just wasn't doing it for me. I loved my time doing it, but it was time to move on. So that's my spiel. That's when I started looking back at the report of the week. I noticed that he was kind of in the same situation as me. I think one of the most impactful things he showed me was how to view weird people. ReviewBraw knows he's weird, and by listening to his podcast, it just seems like he wishes the world was more empathetic and understanding of weird people. The classroom posters that exclaim to be different don't really explain the isolating factors of not being like your peers. Nor does it explain the bravery or joy one can get from truly expressing oneself despite outside pressures. I guess all of that would be hard to fit on the poster. By putting his true self out there and fighting through the hate and other mental health issues, he's definitely making meaningful content. I mean, it's definitely helped me. You know, he still does food reviews. I don't think he hates them, but he also creates the VORW podcast, which he posts online and broadcasts. And he's also been putting out some different videos with more editing and such, which personally I've really enjoyed. ReviewBraw, I wish the best of luck to you. I want to thank you for your bravery and all that you've done for me. If you want to watch some report of the week, I got some of my favorite reviews, podcasts, and all of my sources down below. All right, that's all. See you later. Oh, you know what? I think I fucking did it.
Just in reflection as I sit here this afternoon, just thinking about all that's happened over the last 8 years. It's been an incredible ride, you know? Sometimes it just still feels so surreal. How it's just so incredibly changed. I almost can't even believe it's happened. How fascinating it is.